Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. And today we've got G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter, number 129 from the classified lines. Now, Uncle BJ, big time Joe guy. Myself, not so much. I just kind of missed the boat on this as a child. Didn't really have any sort of nostalgia for G.I. Joe. So that being said, I don't have a single G.I. Joe figure until now. This one, for some reason, spoke to me. Obviously, I wish he was in more of his typical attire, but we have a little crossover with the wrestling and stuff. But he's a pretty cool looking dude, but I do like the accessories in this pack. It really kind of spoke to me and said, man, I need these guys. So I made my first ever G.I. Joe purchase. Will there be more? Probably, but you know, I don't know when, I don't know where, and I don't know how. But what I do know is how we're going to go through this. We're going to have a quick look at the package. We're going to rip it open, get him out of his plastic prison here, and see what good old Sergeant Slaughter has in store for us here today. But like I said, classified number 129. Quick look at the packaging here. Little side shot goodness. Number 129. Little Sergeant Slaughter carrying on, doing Sergeant Slaughter things. Easy for me to say. Some cool artwork here of the old Sarge. The old Sarge is always still making the towns. You know, kind of doubling up at those conventions, getting the wrestling fandom, and of course getting the G.I. Joe fandom. I'm sure he didn't think back then when he signed on to do the cartoon and to be in the wrestling business that he'd still be making some pretty good dough on the good old circuits out there. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get a plethora of hands, all the hands you can need. And I certainly like this chop hand we got right here. Look at that. That's a fun one. We'll definitely check that one out in just a second. Hands, hands, and more hands. So, as we take the time to get all this out of the package, what was your first introduction to Sergeant Slaughter? Was it from G.I. Joe's? Did you know about him from, obviously, his wrestling persona? And did you find him as a heel in wrestling, or did you find him as a face? Yeah, as for myself, I think I kind of found out Sergeant Slaughter as a heel in wrestling. I think, oh man, there's stuff falling over the place. You know, back when he was feuding with Hulkster and he was doing his, you know, Iraq gimmick and all that stuff, is kind of where I think, at least as my memory serves. So I kind of came across him, which was definitely confusing to me as a kid. I am a military brat. My mother and father both served, so it was always kind of weird. Like, why is this guy called Sergeant Slaughter? And he looks, you know, he looks like a drill sergeant. He looks like a soldier, you know, doing all this terrible, mean stuff to, you know, the Hulkster. It didn't make sense, but of course now it does. There we go. And last but not least, Sarge himself freeing from his massive plastic prison. So, woo, you're definitely getting your money's worth accessory-wise with good old Sarge. So, we'll start off here with some simple goodies. Some good old punching fist here. Obviously, some boxing gloves. So, pretty cool there. No clue why on that one, but it's not for me to know. And then we got a few pointer hands here. Almost some what you gonna do, brother hands, or hey brother, let me tell you something hands. And then we got the claws. This must be his iron claw thing, gripping your head and giving you the what for there. Obviously we got a salute hand, a knife hand, as many would call it. To me, this is a knife hand. This is a look here, troop. Let me tell you, front lead and rest position, move. Stride straddle, was it side straddle hops? Yeah, is that what they called them? For jumping jacks. Luckily, I've been out for a little while, so I forget all these terms. And then, of course, some fighting fists there. Another claw hand, yada yada. His little gadget thing here, little crop looking thing. Pretty cool. Nice color on it, though. And good detail, for sure. Very good detail going on. And what drill instructor would be complete without a whistle? You can't leave home without it. Keeping those troops squared away. Some nice bright glasses here. Nice shade of blue. And he does have a pew-pew, for all those wondering. He absolutely does come with a pew-pew. Good sturdy. Not much on the color or shading or anything like that, but it is definitely a sturdy, nice feeling plastic there. And let's see here. And of course, let's go to the normal stuff and his good old Sergeant Slaughter rank insignia. I guess he was like a Master Sergeant, looks like. So got a little drill sergeant hat going on there, so very nice. And of course, on brand, on point. And then he does come with some extra fun accessories here. So you got the Mad Marauders little extra figure. This will be good in like a little display. This would be nice in like a what's the like the sideshow scale. Having one of your sideshow guys hold him, or 3-0, or any of the other like bigger scale figures. And some of the stuff that I really liked were these dumbbells. These are probably going to go in my turtle display. Have Raph working out with them, pumping some iron, stuff like that. Raph or one of the other guys pumping some iron. And then this was, it's crazy to buy a expensive figure like this, but this duffel bag, this USA duffel bag, was just too cool. I gotta find something for it. Maybe this will be like a Tommy Oliver from the Power Rangers going off to join the army, and he's doing the Rambo thing. He's spent a time as a ranger, and nobody knows everything he's done. But some deep storytelling there. But all right, main event. Is it main event? I think it's probably the main event. I can't look at Sarge without a hat. Come on, we got to get Sarge with his hat on. That's just the way it's got to be. So we'll start at the bottom here. So very cool combat looking boots. Some extra, high speedness, as we would call it, going on there. Good grip on the bottom of the boots, very on brand here. The detail there is very nice. Moving on up, does have a little extra knee pads there. Some cargo shorts, like any dad would have. Some cargo pockets there. If you're sneaking in your stuff into the movies or into the football games, you gotta have a nice big cargo pocket to hide those Auntie Anne's pretzels in. If you know, you know. And then of course his nice military dress uniform belt buckle going on there, so it's kind of awkward going on there. But he is jacked, not so very tan, but he is jacked. And these are pinned elbows, so worth noting there. He does have pins, but they are double jointed, so that's nice. Ab crunch going on, looking jacked, looking tan. Does have an American flag there. And then butterfly, these butterfly, yep, so butterflies up top. And then good old Sergeant Slaughter's face. A face only a Mrs. Slaughter could love. Looking good, looking fine. No problem there. And just for those who are wondering, Sarge does have a little bit of hair going on. And a little thing in the back here. I'm not really sure what that's for. I'm sure it's for some kind of different purpose. You can put on an extra bag or something like that. Some kind of dual action utility thing going on there. So pretty cool. All in all, very happy with this purchase. As I said, am I going to be getting a bunch more G.I. Joes? Probably not. But for what it is, this is pretty on-point stuff, and glad to have at least some sort of G.I. Joe representation in the collection. So, but it is that time again. It's time to get on out of here. So do us a favor before you go. Give us that like, hit us with a comment, and of course subscribe to the channel as we post new content every single day. But it's time to throw one back. So for myself and Uncle BJ, we are going to throw one back, and we'll see you all next time. Tit hut!